Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Man to Man. I'm your host, Hugo Ribatika. We explore the conversations that men should be having, but all too often aren't. It is really about regular folk that have absolutely incredible stories. And one of those individuals that we've got on the show today is Boniface Denenga, an accomplished businessman who rose and rose and rose. And unfortunately, that all at some point came crumbling down, but he's done an immense job in rebuilding. We're going to have that conversation with him. Bonnie, welcome onto the show. Senor, it's great to see you. You have an incredible story. I've known you many years. Goromonzi old boy. Let's start there. As a foundation, what did Goromonzi High School do for you?
Goromonzi High School was taught me hard work. Goromonzi was not for guys who were just there to play around, because you had to really get your house in order, because we had 4 streams and every time there's competition to be in the top class. And guys used to study a lot. They were smart, but they also used to put in the hours. So but in terms of teamwork, I think we could have done much better, because I think people would want to be on top of the class or stream at the expense of working with others.
So at the time that you and I first met, I think you were starting off in business. Walk us through your career and how you ended up with your retail outlets that did phenomenally well.
Okay. All my life I've been in retail space. So my dad, when I was, I think from grade 7 or so, he would take with me to the shop. And then at one time I was thrown into the storeroom and I was asked to count empty bottles. And I was like, dude, this guy is crazy and cruel. How dare he checks me into this place with rats infested, and I'm scared of rats, and how do I count all these things? And I just like, just like a young man. And I think we've got so many crates. He said, dude, I want to know the real numbers. And I said, hey. So in a way, I've always been like, my father was like, no compromising dude. So you just impose things and say, we're going to the shop.
But Senor, what I'm interested in knowing is, what was that lesson that you learned from Dada when you said to count the bottles? I'm sure there was a lesson.
The lesson was that there's no job that is too small and should be done shoddily. Everything must be done meticulously. But when I was a lightie, I was like, this man is crazy. But in a way, he was molding me to be a person who should know that if you are given a task, you must do it with all your heart, all your might, and to the T.
Denenga Spa was an incredible outlet that in many ways reflected the person that you are, meticulous, smart.
But I was never really Denenga Spa, personally. My dad was Denenga Spa.
In your business?
Denenga Supermarkets.
Denenga Supermarkets, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we want to focus on Denenga Supermarkets and what it is that you did with that business. How did you end up there?
It's a long story. But anyway, I used to work with my dad for, I would say, full-time 7 years. Full-time with my dad. But my dad was hard. Was hard on, and he had to really put in the hours. We had bakery equipment and takeaways and butcheries. and liquor stores in the supermarket setup, because coming from a spa regime, you've got to run a supermarket scientifically. It's not random. Just get the stocks and just throw them all over the place. It has to be done scientifically. Top shelf, gondola end, stock replenishment, cleanliness.
So a real formula.
Formula. We used to go to places, Belgium, South Africa, England, to learn on store layouts. Where do you place your bakery? What science is involved? Where do you, what sort of cross merchandising do you do for your products? When you come into the supermarket, you want your cooking oil next to your eggs, next to your salt, next to your, things that blend in, next to tomatoes, so that you know your eggs when you're going. Onions, somewhere there. It's not just throwing things all over the place, So the omen now to strike a balance that this lighting who also needs his off days. On weekends, there was nothing. So one day I was really, really tired, and I said, no, Omen, I'm Harare. I'm tired now. And I was thinking, I can run these things because I've been working with this old man for it. But then he said, you'll never go anywhere and succeed without me. I said, okay, let me prove to this old man that I can do it without him.
So what was the sort of chemistry with your dad? I mean, what sort of relationship did you guys have?
Sort of, our old school buddies, they were tough. So sometimes they really didn't know how to strike the balance, as I said.
Yeah.
So they'll be too tough on you. Sometimes you're thinking, is this still my belly, or there's something? It's too hard on me. Yeah, because you're growing and you also want some time to yourself. You want to go watch rugby. There's dairy board rugby at PE. You can't go. There's a movie that's just coming on everyone is talking about.
Yeah. And
then the Bali says, you gotta be in Glenville.
Were you being rewarded for the work you were doing though?
Also, Bali's, you staying at my house. You're my son. You eat my food. So what do you need too much money for? So the remuneration will be also, because most of the guys who work with Bali's, same modus operandi. Remuneration, what do you need remuneration? You're driving my car. This is my car, I bought it. You're my son.
Interesting conversation that we're having with the Boniface Denenga, businessman who's done it all, been to the top, built an excellent business, which at some point came tumbling down. And once again, he's back at it on the way up. Coming back to you in a moment. You're watching Man to Man. Don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Man to Man. Bonnie, before the break, you were talking about the relationship with your dad, you wanting time off work and not getting it, remuneration not ideal. And your dad saying to you, challenging you, in fact, saying that you won't run a successful business without him.
Exactly.
How did that make you feel?
I said, there's a challenge. Let me go for it. I said, I could, Dad. Marry.
So talk to me about that process.
So I left my dad's place. It was a funny story. I just said, the one day I just snapped. I said, no, this is nonsense. I don't want to work like this. And then my dad had to pull out all the resources, like the vehicle that I was driving. He says, give it to me. So I called my wife. She just gotten a little car from my dad, and I said, please come pick me up in one of our outlets in Uniriro.
Yeah.
And she didn't know the place. And then I was just stuck there by the bus stop. I'm waiting for her to come and pick me up. And then I just got a baby, because I just gotten married in '98.
Yeah.
So I think April '98 I got married, and then I think we had our little fight win award. I think in maybe 6 months down the line. So when eventually she found herself, and then she came pick me up, and I was staying in Marlborough in an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment with one baby, and then she was working for AZ, and then I'm a loafer. I don't have any work.
Yeah.
So
how did you feel about your dad kicking you out?
I was ready for anything that time, because there comes a time when you pull something to a snapping point. So I said, this is enough. I need some time to reflect, going back to the drawing board. Let me see how I can survive on my own. So I started looking for places to start a supermarket. I was all over. I went to Chitungiza.
Did you have material resources there for you?
No, I had no money, but I just got married, and I still got a lot of money from my presents.
Okay.
From our presents. So then I found a place. I spoke to my father-in-law and said, listen, I need to get my own little shop. Because I was young, and like, can you do it on your own? I'm ready for it, ready for the challenge. So fortunately, we had a friend, an Indian family who had a property on Nelson Mandela, and he's going to partition it into little shops. My first shop was 80 square meters. So I had no office, I had no warehouse, I had just 2 checkout counters, shelves, and 1 fridge.
What were you selling?
Groceries. Because what I did with my dad, that I sort of said, I'm going to use his name, is that I went to suppliers. Yeah. Because I knew that I didn't have a reputation to get anything on credit.
Correct, yeah.
So I said to them, listen, my dad wants to open a shop, but I'm going to be the one who's running it. They gave me some shelves on credit. Paid a small deposit, got some shelves. I went to the refrigerators company. So I went to some gentleman who had been working with me with my dad's. So every time I was working with my dad's shop, I had good relationships with all the
suppliers.
Yeah, with the ecosystem was. So they said, okay, cool. The other guys that I knew would understand where I'm coming from. I'll tell them the truth.
Yeah.
The guys that I knew that would say, this light is. Where does he know about running a supermarket without his dad? I would say it's my dad's shop.
Yeah.
So I got a fridge, I got shelves, and I went to my friend who was doing tills. I said, dude, this is it. You know your belly is sometimes Denga, so I want to open my own place. He said, I will support you. Yeah. Your belly is difficult. Let's do it. Yeah. So he gave me some tills for free. I'll pay later. They were not brand new, but
they did the job.
Yeah, that's the word. Then the little money that was left was just enough to do what we call front filling.
Yeah.
Then I had to ask for some assistance from my father-in-law to just give me some stock to just make the shop look like normal, to attract enough traffic.
Then you started trading.
That's how I started trading. Mind you, I didn't have a car, so I would go drop my wife in the low Hyundai at offices at the airport, and I'll run around, and then I'll be at the shop.
So how long was it before the money started coming in and you?
You know, I was very fortunate because, you know, my sport was a sweet spot. And, you know,
loads of traffic, right?
Loads of traffic, and also I was given like 2 places to choose from, but I looked at the numbers of these people moving around the area and said, this is a nice spot. Because I was given another area close to Rizende, and I said, no, there's no traffic here. This is the place. So when my dad now realized this guy is not coming back, that's when he said, okay, come, get your old car. But the car was battered. It was, I had to do some repairs. But to cut the long story short, everyone now is noticing me, and one of my friends who was a banker said to me, you're doing very well. If you want a vehicle, I can always finance you. He was working at Stanley. I said, I've never done this. He said, no, you can do the numbers. I said, okay, fine. I went to one of my friends. I said, can you do the numbers for me? Because I hadn't done any stock takes and all that. Yeah. So we had to just do numbers to make congruent with the deposit that I was making for the bank. So they said, okay, it's looking healthy. So surely you can get a vehicle. So I think 6 months down the line, I bought a brand new Nissan Hardbody. Brand new, spanking new.
You took the wrapper, you took the Boniface plastic with.
Absolutely. And I'm like, dude, where's the Bali? He thinks I can't do it. I'm not buying my brand new car by myself.
All right, we're going to come to that in a moment. Speaking to Boniface Denenga, you're watching Man to Man, where we leave no man behind. Don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Man to Man. So after 6 months, you bought a brand new car. Did you stick it to your dad? Did you go to him and say, dude, look what I've been able to do without you?
No, not really. You could see now. You could see that this dude is serious. And I think in a way he was proud of me. He say, okay, there's my son. I've really done a good job.
So he may have been tough on you, but obviously he did a huge amount in laying a foundation for you to be successful.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how we must raise our boys. Boys, they must know that out there, it's a jungle. It's like a lion and a springbok. A springbok must know that I must wake up and sprint to avoid being eaten by a lion. The lion knows that I must wake up and sprint so that I catch the springbok, or else I'll go hungry and die.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the height of your success as living in a supermarket. What reflected that you had arrived, or that you'd certainly achieved a huge amount?
I had a lot of people trying to get into, like, bankers would always approach me. Everyone wanted to be my friend. Because also remember, there was a cash shortage. So if you had cash,
you were king. I certainly remember coming to you and you bailing me out when I needed cash.
And you know, groceries, everyone wanted some groceries, basics, because there were no basics available, meal, sugar, cooking oil. So And
you also built a portfolio of properties, didn't you?
yeah, I moved into my property in 2002. I built a house in a gated golf estate. But what happened is that for me to speed up the whole process of moving there, I got a brand new truck.
Yeah.
Boys saw me in my brand new truck, followed me to my new apartment in Grindel, Simalo Villas.
Yeah.
I checked it. Gone. Devastated. They were pointing gun.
Wow.
Took my Air Jordan. I was wearing some Air Jordan. And my wife is like, there's skirmishes outside. What's cutting? I said, the van is gone. Because I saw them. I was coming from the shop, Nelson Mandela and Biananda. I think the Chronos, my mom used to drive a Chronos. The Chronos tried to hijack me a tender bus service. I was like, what kind of driving is this? But you know, you're busy. And I was talking to my friend, and then they followed me all the way. Then I had a security guard in my house. And I'm thinking, this Chronos, maybe it's my mom. But I'm thinking, why is she coming to my house in the night? And the next thing, when I was about to get into the house, that's when they came to me and said, the security guard said, run away. These guys want to take the car with AK-47 on the dashboard. And this little guy came, pointed a gun at me, said, give me I had some jewelry, bracelet or something. And I'm shaking. And I have thrown the car keys underneath my wife's little car. And I said, Aripasa or something. And then he picked them and he said, Unza. I said, what? Shoes. My shoes. Off the car went. So when I was building my house in the Brook, I was thinking, I'm scared those guys might come back to St. Malavilla because my apartment was behind the flag, the big bush. Yeah. So I was just not in there. I was so scared all the time. Constant reminder. Those guys. You know, when a person looks at you at the shop and follows you and grabs your shoes, they've invaded your space. Yeah. So I then said, no, I ain't gonna stay here. Let me go to my new house in the Brook. So I went to the Brook when it wasn't really finished, but at least I knew that it was a gated estate. I'll use some of the section, then I'll finish later. Like the making it airtight. It was watertight, take the roof, but some of the aluminium doors upstairs were not yet glazed. So, and that pushed me also to finish. And then, the rest is history. Yeah.
So what are the lessons that you've learned?
In which field?
From life, from successful businessman to losing it, starting again. What have you taken to you as the new construction man?
You must never give up, because if you give up, so who's gonna come to rescue? Because a man gotta be a man. You've gotta really be a provider, whether there's economic problems, there's you're involved in an accident, then you're crippled or something happened. You've gotta be a provider. So you've gotta keep on fighting. Fighter is always fighting. So you don't give up.
Did you lose friends?
Of course. People love you because they benefit from you. But genuine friends are still there. Yeah. Those who hang us on and excuse me, sorry. Those who wanted benefits. Obviously, when you don't have any cash for them to go and do their transactions, what do they need you for? You don't have stocks. What do they need you for? So they bolt.
One of the things that I really like about what you've said is the immersive side. Just how much time you took to learn all about construction now that you're in that space. Would have liked to have talked a lot more, but this is where we're going to end the show. Bonnie, always great to speak to you, and thanks so much for coming on to Man to Man.
Cheers.
And that's where we leave this episode of Man to Man. Incredible conversations, as always. Boniface Denenga, our guest on the show today. I'm your host, Hugo Ribatika. Look forward to the pleasure of your company at the very same time next week. Remember, we leave no man behind. Goodbye.